What's up, everybody? This is Domingo Hero Network, and today's Yu-Gi-Oh video I am going to be doing my Constellar deck profiles. Yes, I'm going to be doing a Constellar deck profile. Constellar is one of my favorite decks, a pretty unique deck. Of course, this deck is basically an XYZ based deck. Ever since I got like the last support, with Constellars and Tellarknights and all that stuff, Constellars is improving. Like, it's a really good fun deck to play. Of course, I do play this deck for fun, and yes, I do play some of the Tellarknights because Tellarknights and Constellars, they work pretty well together. But this is more on a Constellar side, even though I do play the Tellarknight monsters, because this version is based a little more on Constellars. So we're gonna get this started. So I'm gonna show you all the main deck and the extra deck, and show you all the cards and ratios I play. So let's not waste any time. So without further ado, let's get the deck profile started. So here we go. We're gonna start off with the main deck first. So first off, we're gonna do the monsters. I do play 3 copies of Constellar Caduceus, 3 copies of Constellar Pollux, 3 copies of Constellar Callus, and 3 copies of Constellar Sombre, and 3 copies of Constellar Elginiri. So these are the Constellar monsters I play at 3. Caduceus is the best one of the best ones, and pretty good. One of the most important ones in the deck, because what Caduceus does is, if you control a Constellar monster, except for Caduceus, you can special summon this card from your hand. During your main phase, you can add 1 Constellar spell and trap card from your deck to your hand. Of course, you can only use each of the effects of Constellar Caduceus once per turn. And also, if a Constellar XYZ monster that has this card as material gains this effect, if it battles a light or dark monster before damage collision, you can manage that monster. So it's pretty good. Caduceus is really good, since the fact we have a Constellar card that searches for Constellar spells and traps. I remember when Constellars first came out, not a lot of people play the spells and traps, because some of the cards, there were like 1 or 2 decent cards, but then some of the other ones are not that great. But because of Constellar Caduceus, the Constellar spells and traps are actually more playable in this deck and more useful. So it does help, So it's actually pretty good to play the Constellar spells and traps now, because we got a card that searches for Constellar spells and traps in Constellar Caduceus. So it's really, really good. And then you got Constellar Pollux. Pollux is pretty good. It's basically your normal summoning. What it does, of course, is a normal summoning. During the turn this card was normal summon, you can normal summon 1 Constellar monster in addition to your normal summon / check, but you only gain this effect once per turn. So it's pretty good, give you like that extra normal summoning and help you go for your XYZ rank 4 plays. And then you got Callus. So Constellar Callus, it's really good. It's one of the most important cards for Constellars, because what it does is cannot be used in single material. You can use up to twice per turn. You can target 1 Constellar monster on the field to activate one of these effects. Increase its level by 1 or reduce its level by 1. So it's pretty good. Like, it helps you go for like if you don't want to go for rank 4 XYZ monster, you can go rank 5 or 6. It helps you go for your Pleiades. It can help you go for your M7. You can even reduce it and go for level 3s like Constellar Hades or something like that. So it really helps. And it's always good to play 3 of those, because that's the card that help you go, especially if you want to change the level of your Constellar monsters for the XYZ play. Then we got Sombre. Sombre is pretty good. What it does is, you only use the effect of Sombre once per turn. While this card is in the graveyard, if it was centered this turn, you can normal summon 1 Constellar monster for 1 less tribute. You could banish 1 Constellar monster from your graveyard, then target 1 Constellar monster in your graveyard, add that target to your hand, and also gain this effect following effects. This turn, you can activate this effect, normal summoning 1 Constellar monster. So it's pretty good. Another Constellar monster that does a normal summoning, so it's pretty good. Then we got Elginiri. Constellar Elginiri is pretty good. What this card does is, when this card is normal summon, you can special summon 1 level 4 Constellar monster from your hand. So it's pretty good for your. So these cards are very important, for your. It helps you go for your XYZ plays, like the Constellar XYZ play or any other Constellar monster. So it really, really helps a lot. 3 copies of each of these is good. So I really do love playing these at 3s, because they are the most important cards in the main deck of Constellars. Alright, for the other Constellars I play only 2 copies of Constellar Saturn. Constellar Saturn 10 is pretty good. Only 2 copies of this, because what it does is when this card is normal summon, you can add one Constellar monster to your deck to your hand. So it searches for a Constellar monster. The only thing about it, this card is level 3, but it's okay, because if you have cards, let's say like a Callus, you can make a level 4 and go for rank 4 plays or whatever, you know. So it's pretty good. 2 of these is fine. I think 2 is fine. You don't need to play like 3. 1 is not good enough, but 2 is the perfect number. Now we're gonna move on to the Tellarknights that I play. So I do play 3 copies of Tellarknight Lyran and 2 copies of Tellarknight Eltaran. So these are the Tellarknight monsters that I mentioned that helps out Constellars. The good thing about these cards, they both have the effect where they can be always treated as a Constellar card. So that's actually pretty good. So Lyran's effect says, if a Tellarknight or a Constellar monster is normal summoned to your field, except Tellarknight Lyran, except during the damage step, you could special summon this card from your hand. If this card is summoned, you can add 1 Tellarknight spell card from your deck to your hand. You can only use it once per turn. And of course, the spell card that I play, the Tellarknight spell card you play, is your Constellar Tellarknights. That's the Tellarknight spell card that we do play. And then, and of course, we got Eltaran. Eltaran has an effect that says, if this card is summoned, you can target cards on the field up to the numbers of light and dark XYZ monsters you control, destroy them. If a Tellarknight or Constellar monsters is special summoned to your field except for Tellarknight Eltaran and except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. You cannot declare an attack for the rest of the turn except with XYZ monsters. You can only use the effect of Eltaran once per turn. It's pretty good, you know, destroying cards, you know, up to the number light and dark XYZ monsters you control. And then, you know, another extension plays. Of course, you know, they do special each other, so you can go for your XYZ plays easily. So these cards do help out a lot in this deck. And of course, you can actually play these cards in your Tellarknight. If you ever make a Tellarknight deck, you definitely need to play those Tellarknight cards. And for the non-Constellar monsters I play 2 copies of Full-Time Thrasher. Thrasher is good, you know. What it does is cannot be normal summon slash, must first be special summon from your hand while you control no monsters. So it's another extender. You know, if you have no monster, you special summon this card from your hand. It helps you go for the XYZ plays. So that's why we play the 2 copies of Thrasher, because it does help a lot in this deck. That's it for the monsters. Now for the spells, we play 3 copies of Constellar Tellarknights, 1 copy of Constellar Star Chart, 1 copy of Constellar Star Cradle, 1 copy of Constellar Tempest, and 1 copy of Constellar Twinkle. So these are the Constellar spells that we play. Of course, Constellar Tellarknights could be searched with one of the Tellarknights, and also all these cards could be searched with Constellar Caduceus. So Constellar Tellarknights is the continuous spell card. It reads, when this card is activated, you can special summon 1 Tellarknight or Constellar monster from your hand or graveyard. You can target 1 Tellarknight or Constellar XYZ monster you control, special summon from your extra deck 1 Tellarknight or Constellar XYZ monster with a different rank, but using it as an XYZ monster you control as materials. This is treated as an XYZ summoning. Transfer its materials to the summon monster, and of course you can only activate 1 Tellarknight per turn. So that's actually pretty good. Helps you go for XYZ plays, especially like getting more extension plays and stuff, and more materials to your Constellar XYZ monsters. So it's really good. Then you got Constellar Star Chart, another continuous spell card. It says once per turn, when a Constellar XYZ monster special summon your side of the field except during the damage step, you can draw 1 card. Pretty good. Then we got Star Cradle. Only 1 of this because I know not a lot of Constellars don't play it, but we do play this card because, you know, I mean, it's not the best, but it does come up at times. What it does is you target 2 Constellar monsters in your graveyard, add both of those targets to your hand, but you cannot conduct your battle phase to turn you activate this card. So that's the only bad thing about it. That's why you only got to play 1. 1 is all you need, because you don't want to play more copies of it because you really want to conduct your battle phase. So even though you skip your battle, it's still pretty good because you could get your 2 Constellar monsters in your graveyard, and then you can go for your plays and stuff. Then we got Constellar Tempest, another continuous spell. What this card does is during your end phase, target 2 Constellar XYZ monsters you control, and then have the XYZ materials. Detach all XYZ materials from both XYZ monsters. If you do have it, your opponent's life points, you can only use this effect until Tempest once per turn. And then the other effect says once per turn. During your standby phase, you can target 1 Constellar XYZ monster you control and 1 Constellar monster in your graveyard. Attach that monster from the graveyard to that material as monsters doing XYZ material. So it does come up at times. Mostly we use the second effect. So yeah, the first effect comes up at times too. but I mostly use it for the second effect. Then we got Twinkle. So Constellar Twinkle, you know, you just target one Constellar monster you control. You can either increase its level by 1 or 2. And also, if this card is in the graveyard, you can banish one Constellar monster in the graveyard and add this card to your, from your graveyard to your hand. And of course, you can only use the effect of Twinkle once per turn. So it's pretty useful. It's good for, like, you know, change the levels and stuff like that, which is pretty good. So, and like I said, these cards could be searched with Constellar Caduceus. And now we're going to move on to the other spell cards I play. I play 3 copies of Fire Formation Tenki, 2 copies of Twin Twisters, 1 copy of Reinforcement of the Army, and the 1 copy of Monster Ball to round out the spells. Now, the Tenkis we play because we do play Constellar Callus, because Constellar Callus is a Beast Warrior, so that's why we played the 3 Tenkis, just to search for Caius. Twin Twister just for back when Rule Rhoda. We played that card because Constellar Pollux, the one that has a normal summon effect, that one is a level 4 warrior, so you're definitely going to search it with that. And of course the Monster Reborn, which, you know, it's Monster Reborn, so so it's pretty good. And it's also using extension as well. That's it for the spells. Now we're going to move on to the traps. For the Constellar trap, 1 copy of Constellar Meteor. Meteor is okay, and of course you can search with this with Caduceus. Meteor has the effect this: during the turn this card is activated, if your opponent's monster battles a Constellar monster and that opponent's monster is not destroyed, you could shuffle it to the deck at the end of the demonstration. So it's pretty good, just in case if your opponent's monster battling your Constellar monster, and if it's not destroyed by battle, then you could just shuffle it to the deck. And of course, like I said, Caduceus can search this card since it's a Constellar trap card. And for the other traps I play, I do play 3 copies of Mirror Force, just, you know, get rid of your opponent's monsters. The Solemn Brigade, 2 copies of Solemn Strike, and the 1 copy of Solemn Warning. The Constellars, the Solemn Brigades are pretty good, so I really love playing the 2 strikes and 1 warning because it does help out at times, especially if you want to stop your opponent's summoning. That's it for the main deck. Now we're going to move on to the extra deck. So we're going to start out with the Constella's XYZ monsters. I play 2 copies of Tellarknight Constellar Caduceus, 2 copies of Stellar Knight Constellar Diamond, 2 copies of Constellar Plonomy M7. Move some space here. Alright, I also play 1 copy of Constellar Pleiades, 1 copy of Constellar Persepi, 1 copy of Constellar Omega, and the 1 copy of Constellar Hades. So these are all the Constellar's XYZ monsters that I do play. So Caduceus, the Tellarknight Caduceus, really good. Its material required 2 level 4 plus, you know, 2 plus level 4 monsters, so that's pretty good. If this card is XYZ summon, you can target a Constellar Knight and / or Constellar card in your graveyard and add them to your hand. You can banish 1 Tellarknight or 1 Constellar monster from your hand or deck and detach 1 XC material from this card. This effect becomes that banishing monster's effect that activates when it's normal summon. You can only use each effect of Tellarknight Constellar Caduceus once per turn, so that's pretty good. And then we got Diamond. So Diamond's effect says during your main phase 2, you can also actually summon this card using a Tellarknight XYZ monster you control as materials, except for Stellar Knight Constellar Diamond. XY material attached to this card becomes also X material in this card. And also when this card is XYZ summoned, neither player cannot send cards from their deck to the graveyard. Any card that returns from the graveyard to the hand is banished instead. And during either player's turn, when your opponent's dark monster activates a fake attack point XC material from this card, negate the attack and you do destroy it. So, you know, its effect does come up at times as well. And then we got M7. So M7, you know, you can also XYZ this card by using a Constellar XYZ monster you control as other than M7. You also have an effect when if this card is summoned this way, this effect cannot be activated this turn. Once per turn, you can attach 1 XYZ material from this card. Then target 1 monster on the field or in either player's graveyard and return it to the hand. So it's like, you know, bounce a card from the hand on the field or in the graveyard. Then we got Pleiades. Pleiades, you know, same effect as M7, but its effect says once per turn, quick effect. Detach 1 XC material from this card, target 1 card on the field, and return it to the hand. So it's a compulsory. It could be any card from the hand. Then we got Persepi. Persepi, what it does is, you know, once per turn during the damage step of either player's turn, when a Constellar monster you control is attacking or being attacked, detach 1 XC material from this card, then that monster gains 1,000 attack points until the end phase. So it's an extra beast stick. And then we got Omega, which is the effect says once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach 1 XC material with this card. All Constellar monsters you control are unaffected by spells and trap effect this turn. So that's pretty good, protecting your only spells and traps. Then we got Hades, which, you know, his effect is, you're not going to use the effect because it just say like detach and then all monster opponent control turns the face up defense position. You're not going to use it as the effect. We play Hades because you need it as a XYZ material. If you definitely want to go for your M7 or other XYZ monster plays as well, so it's pretty good. So yeah, I like this ratio. You know, 2 of each of these and then 1 of each of these. You know, and Omega, you only need to play 1. 1 is all you need. Play these. You don't need to play multiple copies anymore. You just need 1 of this now. So it's pretty good. I actually like this ratio as well. It's really, really good. Alright, so now those are the Constellar XYZ monsters. Of course, Tellarknight Caduceus is an XYZ monster. So here's another Tellarknight monsters that are also XYZs that I do play. 1 copy of Tellarknight Ptolemades, and then 1 copy of Steeler Knight Deltaros. So Tellarknight Ptolemades, what this card does is, you know, once per chain, quick effect, detach 3 XA material from this card, special summon from your extra deck 1 XYZ monster that 1 rank higher than this card except for number monster. By using this face card, you control its material and this treat it as an XYZ summoning. Transfer its material to the summoning monster, and also has another effect where you could attach 7 materials from this card. Skip your opponent's next turn, and then the other effect says once per turn during the end phase, you can attach 1 Steel Knight card from your extra next card's material. That's really, really good. And the thing about this card, a few months ago, it came out the ban list, and ever since this card came out the ban list, like it is really, really good. It does help out this deck a lot. The fact that if you manage to get 7 materials on this card, detach all 7, skip your opponent's turn. Like that is insane. Like that's incredible. And then we got Deltaros, and what he does is when this card is XC material, your opponent cannot activate cards in effect when you normal summon special summon a monster. So that's actually pretty good. And then the other effect says once per turn attach 1 AC from this card, target 1 card in the field and destroy it. And then if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Tellarknight monster from your hand or deck. And of course the Tellarknight monsters you're going to summon from the hand or the deck if this gets destroyed is your Lyran and, you know, your Alteran as well. So it's pretty good. 1 of each of these is fine, so they're both really useful. They're both really good. And then the last, but not certainly least, to round off the extra deck, I play the Utopia package, which is number 39 Utopia. 1 copy of that, 1 copy of number C39 Utopia Ray for the extra materials, and then the 1 copy of number S39 Utopia the Lightning. So, you know, you exile Utopia, go to Utopia Ray, and Utopia the Lightning. Now, the reason why we play Utopia Ray is just for XYZ material to activate Utopia Lightning's second effect, where, you know, detach 2 and stuff like that. And also when Utopia Lightning attacks, you know, your opponent cannot activate any cards and stuff. So it's really cool. So I love playing the Utopia package. It really helped out a lot. So that's gonna be it for the video, guys and girls. I hope you guys and girls enjoy the my Constellar deck profile. Really fun deck to play overall, and the fact that the Tellarknights and Constellar work very well together and help it out, it's really more fun. So that's gonna be it for this video. So don't forget to like this video, share, subscribe, and post your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about my Constellar deck profile. That's gonna be it for this video, guys and girls. And this is Domingo Hero Network. All I can say is take care, have a good day, goodbye. Domingo Hero Network is signing out. Peace.